I sold my house in Ohio in 2019, moved 8,000 miles, and I have not been back one time since. Everybody thinks the reason is money, that Thailand is cheap and America is not, and that is the part everybody gets wrong. So what actually happens to a man over here that makes the flight home, the one flight he will not book? My name is Ray Whitmore. I am 71 years old. I grew up in Lima, Ohio, worked 31 years at a parts plant, and I own 3 shirts. It is 6:10 in the morning where I am sitting. 3rd floor balcony, plastic chair, Chiang Mai, up in the north of Thailand. Below me, a woman is setting up her cart. She sells rice soup. Down the lane, a monk walks barefoot with a bowl, and an old man kneels on the wet pavement and puts food in it. My coffee this morning cost 12 baht. That is about 35 cents. I want to tell you about my last 2 years in Ohio, because I think some of you watching are living in them right now. I did everything the way you are supposed to. Paid the house off at 62. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, a garage I could not park in because it was full of boxes my kids did not want. My wife Nancy died in 2016, pancreatic cancer, 11 weeks from the word to the funeral. Here's what nobody tells you. The house did not get cheaper when she was gone. Property tax was $3,100 a year. Homeowners insurance ran $94 a month and went up every single year. Gas and electric averaged $190. Car insurance $110. Then plates, gas, tires, the water heater went, then the roof. My Social Security was $2,140 a month. Do the arithmetic with me. By the time the house and the truck were fed, I had maybe $500 left to actually be alive on. And I want to be careful here because this is not a poor man's story. I was not poor. I had a paid-off house and money in the bank, and on paper I was doing just fine. I just was not doing anything. Quick word before I go further. The paperwork and the numbers I worked out getting here, there is more of it than fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book you can buy in our pinned comment below. The book is the long version. If you want it, it is there. I will not mention it again. I went 11 days one time without a real conversation. I counted. The girl at the pharmacy, the fellow who did my oil change, and that was the whole month. 66 years old, sitting alone in 4 bedrooms, television on at 2 in the afternoon. And the terrible part is I did not feel sad about it. I felt normal. That is how it gets you. A man I worked with named Gil Pruitt went to Thailand in 2017 and came back tan and about 40 pounds lighter and would not shut up about it. I thought he had lost his mind. Then one night in February, I was scraping ice off my windshield at 7 in the morning to go buy bread, and I stood there in the driveway with the scraper in my hand, and I thought, this is it. This is what is left. This is the rest of it. I flew over for 18 days that April. I did not love it. I want to be honest with you about that because the videos that tell you it is paradise on day 1 are selling you something. It was hot. It smelled like frying garlic in drains. I could not read a single sign. I ate at the same one restaurant 6 nights in a row because I knew how to point at the picture. I went home, sold the house in 6 weeks for $210,000, put most of it where I could not touch it, and came back in the September. And then the first year nearly broke me. Month 4 was the worst. Rainy season, water coming down like somebody was pouring it out of a bucket, and I sat in a rented room with no one to call because of the time difference. And I thought, Ray, you are a 64-year-old man who sold his house to go be lonely somewhere warm. So what happened between month 4 and now? Why is it that 7 years later I have a passport, a bank account, and enough money for a ticket, and I still will not get on that plane? Let me tell you what it is not. It is not the money. Everybody wants me to say it is the money, because money is a simple story. Thailand is cheap, America is expensive, go where your dollar stretches. And the numbers do work. I will give you my actual month. Rent on a 1-bedroom, 9,000 baht. Electric with the air on at night, about 2,000. Water, 150. Internet, 600. I eat almost every meal out and food runs me 8,000 a month. Add it all up and I live on around 45,000 baht. Call it $1,300. My Social Security is more than that now. I save money every month for the first time since I was 50. But that is not the reason, and I know it is not, because I could have moved to a cheap county in Arkansas and gotten the same arithmetic without the 8,000 miles. Here is the real thing. In Ohio, every dollar I had was defensive. Think about it. What was that money doing? It was defending a roof. It was defending a truck. It was defending both of those with insurance, and then defending me from the insurance with a savings account. I was not retired. I was the unpaid night watchman of a building. Every morning I woke up and my job was to keep a house from falling down and a vehicle from breaking, and there was no other job, and there had not been one for 4 years. Over here I own nothing that can break. If my building floods, I move. If the air conditioner dies, I call the landlord. I have no lawn, no gutters, no driveway to seal, no garage full of a dead woman's things I could not bring myself to sort. Now let me tell you the part that ought to make you sit up, because it is the single biggest thing keeping Americans stuck, and almost nobody has run the numbers on it. Medicare. Everybody says the same sentence. I cannot leave. I have got Medicare. Friend, Medicare does not go with you. It stops at the border. With a couple of narrow exceptions, Medicare does not pay for care outside the United States. Not in Thailand, not in Mexico, not in Portugal. Nowhere. And here is the sting. In 2026, the standard Part B premium is $202.90 a month. There is a $283 deductible on top. Most folks have it pulled straight out of the Social Security check so they never see it leave. So a man sitting in Ohio, too scared to move because of his health coverage, is paying about $2,400 a year for a card that would go blank the second he stepped off a plane anywhere. Now, I am not going to tell you to drop Part B, and I will tell you why in a minute, because there is a penalty in there that bites hard. But understand what is actually holding you. It is not a benefit, it is a habit. And that brings me to the thing that took me 2 years to work out, the thing that is the whole reason I cannot go back. In Ohio, my life was built so that I never had to see another human being. Attached garage, drive-through pharmacy, groceries delivered, thermostat. I could go from bed to bed without a word. Here, my life is built so that I cannot avoid people. I have no oven, so I eat at a stall, and the woman who runs it knows I do not want the chili. I have no car, so I walk, and walking means the same 4 faces every morning. I have no dryer, so I go up to the roof, and there is a Dutchman up there hanging his shirts. The friction I lost in America was not waste. The friction was the life. I did not move somewhere cheaper. I moved somewhere that requires me. So here is how you actually do it. Not the dream part, the paperwork part. In order. Step 1 is the number. To get the retirement stay, you have to be 50 or older, and you have to show one of 3 things. 800,000 baht sitting in a Thai bank in your own name, or income of 65,000 baht a month, or a mix of the two that adds to 800,000 a year. 800,000 baht is somewhere around 22 to 24,000 US, depending on the day. Here's the trick on that one. If you use the income route, build yourself a cushion. I know a British fellow whose pension converted to 64,200 baht on the morning of his appointment, because the baht moved against him, below the line. Refused. He had done nothing wrong except trust an exchange rate. If your income is anywhere close to that 65, use the money in the bank instead. Step 2 is the bank account, and this is the chicken and egg that stops people. You need Thai money in a Thai bank to get the stay, and you need a proper visa to open the bank account. The way through is to enter on a non-immigrant O from a Thai consulate in your own country, which gives you 90 days on arrival. You open the account, you move the money in, and then before those 90 days run out, you go to the local immigration office and ask for the 1-year extension. Step 3 is the seasoning, and this is where good people get sent home. The 800,000 has to sit in that account untouched for 2 months before your first application, and 3 months before every renewal after that. It is not enough to have it. You have to prove it sat there. I know a woman who wired the money exactly 60 days out, and her bank recorded it as available on day 59 because of processing. 59 days. Refused, delayed, made to come back. So my rule is simple. Send it 4 months early, not 2. 4. And after the extension is granted, the balance must not drop under 400,000 for the rest of that year. Do not treat it as spending money. Pretend that account does not exist. Step 4 is the reporting, and it is the one that costs people 2,000 baht in fines. Every 90 days, you have to tell immigration you are still here and still at the same address. There is an online portal now, and most people never have to go in. The trick is to do it on day 76, not day 89, and screenshot the receipt the second it comes up. Keep a folder on your phone. 7 years. Every receipt. And I have never been asked twice for the same one. Step 5 is health, and this is the one you actually have to think about. If you come in on the OA from abroad, insurance is required, and the coverage minimums are set by immigration. If you convert in-country on the non-O, there is no insurance requirement, but do not read that as permission to have nothing. Premiums for a healthy man in his mid-60s run somewhere between 1,500 and 4,000 US a year. And here's the part that will surprise you. Plenty of companies will not take a new customer over 65, and almost none will over 70. So sort your insurance out before you sort out anything else, because it decides whether the whole plan is even possible. A lot of us here pay cash instead. A doctor visit at a private hospital runs 500 to 800 baht. A dental cleaning is around 1,200. I had a mole cut off and biopsied for less than $100. Same day, no appointment. But you keep a fund. Mine is 600,000 baht and I do not touch it. And on Medicare, here is the honest math. Part A is free. Keep it. No reason not to. Part B is the decision. If you drop it and later go home and want it back, you pay a penalty of 10% for every full year you went without, and that penalty is for the rest of your life. So it is not $200 a month you are weighing. It is $200 a month against a permanent surcharge if you ever change your mind. Some men here pay it as insurance against homesickness. I stopped paying mine in year 3. I made that call with my eyes open, and I would make it again. Step 6 is the one nobody wants to hear. Rent for a year, buy nothing. You cannot own land here as a foreigner. You can own a condominium unit, and people will show you 30-year leases on houses and talk like it is 90 years. Do not sign anything in your first 12 months. Not a lease longer than a year, not a car, not a business, and please, not a bar. The graveyard of Western retirement in Thailand is full of men who bought something in month 3. Step 7 is the one that actually decides if you make it, and there is no form for it. Build a week that has people in it before you build anything else. Pick one market and go to the same stall. Pick one coffee place and sit outside, not inside. Find the thing that meets at a fixed time. Badminton, chess, church, the Tuesday hash walk, whatever it is in your town. My first year I had none of that, and it nearly sent me home. One more practical thing, and then I will get to the part that matters. From roughly February to April up here, we get burning season, when the farmers clear the fields and the smoke settles in the valley. Some days the air is genuinely bad. Get yourself a decent air purifier. A Xiaomi or similar runs about 4,000 baht. Put it in the bedroom. Keep the windows shut those weeks and go down to the islands if you can. Nobody in the brochures mentions this. I am mentioning it. Now here is the bigger picture, and it is the whole reason I am talking to you. I walk about 5 miles a day here without trying. Not exercised, just going places. I am down 31 pounds from the man who scraped that windshield. My doctor here took me off one of my blood pressure pills in 2022, and I have not needed it since. I did not do anything clever. I just stopped having a car. But that is not it either. Loneliness is what kills men our age. It is not the cholesterol. It is Tuesday afternoons. It is the 11 days without a conversation and not noticing. And a country cannot fix that for you, but a country can be built in a way that makes it harder to hide. And this one is. I will give you the honest cost, because you deserve it. I missed my brother Denny's funeral. 16 hours of flying, and I could not get there in time, and I have to carry that. My granddaughter is 14, and she knows me as a face on a screen who says the same 3 things. There will come a day when I am too old to be this far from anyone who is obliged to me, and I think about that day more than I let on. There is a man I know at the Sunday market, Ken, been here 22 years, and he says the same thing every time one of the boys announces he is going home. He says, nobody goes home. They go back to a year. And he is right. The men who fly back are not flying to America. They are flying to 1986, to a wife who is alive and a plant that is still open and a body that worked. And that country closed. It closed for me too. I did not leave America. I left a version of my life that had already ended, and I went and found another one, and that is why I cannot go back. There is nothing to go back to. Not because it is bad there, because it is over there. So here is what I want you to do tonight. Do not book a flight. Do not sell anything. Pull up the last 12 months of your bank statements and add every single dollar that went to the house and the vehicle. Tax, insurance, utilities, repairs, plates, gas, all of it. Get one number. That number is not your cost of living. That is the rent you are paying to stay exactly where you are. Put that number in the comments below. Just the number and your state. I read every one of them, and I want you to see how many of your neighbors are paying the same and never once said it out loud. Next time I'm going to show you the piece of paper my landlord was supposed to file about me within 24 hours of the day I moved in. Nobody told me it existed. It cost me 2,000 baht and one wasted morning at immigration to find out. And there is a way to handle it so it never happens to you. Until then, count your number and be honest about it.